was a pip, a poop, a tally poop, a tear-ass, and a rattler. Another thing that he dug up was a poet named Stevie Smith, an English woman who wrote and illustrated her own books, one of which is called A Good Time Is Had by All. And I'll quote a poem from that. The lions who ate the Christians on the sands of the arena, by indulging native appetites, played what has now been seen, not entirely negligible part in consolidating at the very start the position of the early Christian church. The lions who ate up blood, flesh, gristle, and bone, the martyrdom on which the church has grown. My point, which has been obscured, is that the lions who chewed up blood, flesh, and bone made the martyrdom on which the church has grown. Therefore, our debt to lionhood, I've loused this up a little bit, but anyway, the debt to lionhood must never be forgotten.
Two John Lacey's in our class. John Clement Lacey, who I don't see here tonight, but I think is he here somewhere?
There he is.
There he is.
There's the count.
The count did not pick up his card. You didn't get your name card, John. I thought you weren't here. Well, they had one for me too. Well, I'm so glad you made it all the way from across the ocean, as I think you've done for almost every union we've had. And I haven't made one since 1945. I can see that the rigor is blue jackets, which I didn't have.
Okay.
Anyway, I wish everyone well, and you've got two John Macy's here tonight. The first time, I think, in a long, long time.
Right.
I can.
All I can say is, it's a great feeling to be here in 2012 when I think of the fact that we were in college from 38 to 42. I mean, this is really something. And I don't know what can be said about it, except that all of you look very interested. And the trouble is that in a one night like this, an individual like me can't have the pleasure of speaking to a lot of individuals that we had occasion to have very interesting experiences in college. I mean, it's frustrating. I see faces familiar, a little bit different, I admit, and not always recognizable. And if you rely on my brain to remember the name, it's a fatality, because somehow there's a hole there somewhere. But anyway, somebody mentioned serving in the Navy, and I can't overlook the fact that I feel very guilty. I spent almost 5 years at sea on 2 different ships of the train. Ships of the train meaning supply ships of food, furnished food, ammunition, fuel, and everything else to the guys that are out there fighting the hell out of us. And I was just sailing around the atolls, fueling and feeding and everything else. But I can't claim, and I don't want to claim anything special about it, except that I enjoyed every bit of it. And we only got shot at once when they tried to blow up a cow in Efadi, which is part of one of the French islands just north of Namibia, which some of you may know about. Anyway, I can't go any further than this without boring a wonderful group of people.
We were also beginning of the greatest generation.
The greatest generation.
The what?
The greatest. Tom Brokaw.
Oh,
and the greatest.
Brokaw did it for us better than any of us.
Brokaw's greatest generation.
Yeah, and he was right. I have to admit it. I'll stop talking. Thank you very much. Oh, it goes around this way. Nelson.
I just take my occasion to welcome Bus Stevenson and Marcia, the latest attendees. Welcome. Where have you been?
Yeah.
I started out with about a 45-minute peroration, and as this thing has gotten to me, I cut it to 20-10-5-3. I am going to make this only one thing. That hurricane that you people thought was something up here in 1938. I had never been out of the state of Florida, and I came through New York and had a rather rough weekend and got here for my freshman year, and somebody woke me up and said, "We are having a hurricane." And I said, "A hurricane, so what?" and that's the way I looked at Harvard the rest of my 4 years.
I want you to know that I was the one that got everybody talking, so I'm going to shut up.
Well, glad you did. Over there. Sorry about that.
Okay, my name is John Leeper, and I lived in Kirkland House. And now first I will say, how many of us here can boast that our college roommates are alive, well, and here, besides me and Bus?
You can't.
Nope. Oh, yay. Now, Kirkland House, if my memory is correct, most of us are either forgot or ashamed to admit that someone took apart a Model A Ford, piece by piece, put it up to the roof of Kirkland House, and reassembled it. Anyone remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was part of Kirkland House. I think it was a wonderful experience, and good to see you, Bus.
Is it still there?
No, they took it down.
Not to disparage Kirkland House or Lowell House or any other house, but how many here has an association with Dudley House when it was a commuter center?
Dudley House.
Dudley House.
Dudley House. I think there are 5 of us here. Since I have the microphone, I'd like to offer a word of appreciation to one of our people, one of our associates, who has been so helpful over the years in organizing the reunions. I refer to Gene Riley. Yeah. Let's give him a hand.
I'm Dick England like the country. I was in Lowell House and I loved it. Anybody else here from Lowell House?
Yes.
Joe there, but he is.
Well, I see some hands up. Good. One of the things I did in Lowell House was learn to play contract bridge, and that knowledge really saved my life during the war. I ended up as skipper of an LCIL 552. We participated in a bunch of landings, but we also sat around a lot. And one of the things we did on our ship was signal all the other ships. We generally were in groups of anywhere from 25 to 100 LCIs. and we found out who the bridge players were, and we tied up the ship according to the bridge game. And that kept Kenny from going crazy when we did all the sitting around. Who would like to be next?
Did you play with Vern Miller?
What?
Did you ever play bridge with Vern Miller?
Who?
Vern Miller. He's still living. He was a
Dan Smallins, I'm one of the few Dudley House people here, and I only have to say that I enjoy very much being here with all the guys and the girls, and I wish you continued good health and longer lives, good longer lives.
How many people live in Adam's house? Adam's house, the house with a very short tower, no bells at all. Boy, the entry was a great entry. We had a swimming pool. Theater now. And we had memories, oh, fella. Nobody from Adam's house?
Yeah, behind you, right
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're there now?
Pool is a theater now.
They told, oh, gosh.
We've heard stories though.
Oh, well.
Most of them are true.
Can you name all the houses now?
What?
Can you name all of the houses now?
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of a grateful university, we extend to the classmates of the class of 1942 warm and confident greetings on this occasion of your 70th reunion. The old ones.
As an invader here, as a member of the class of 1941, I'd just like to see how you young guys are doing. I would also like to inquire, I think it'd be kind of interesting to know who's who. I wonder if by show of hands we can see all the lawyers present. Striking contrast to last year where most of them were lawyers. How many physicians are present? Oh, well, we got a few more of them lawyers. How about that? Thank you. Thank you for a great meeting.
How many professors are?
We got petitions in the